Beast Mode time! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, it's that time of the day again where we feed your mind with a little bit of positivity, a little bit of constructiveness. Get away from all that negativity of the outside world. Gonna do a little constructive talking today. Today, we're talking about the ladies. Now, on this channel, we talk about business. We talk about entrepreneurship and money and self-development and motivation and fitness, all that good stuff. But today, we're talking about the ladies and if money helps attract women. Now, I already know what you're thinking. You're like, but Knight Rider, where's your Lamborghini? I've seen these videos. You have to go rent a Lamborghini for a day and go to Venice Beach and park your car and then lean on the car and then when the ladies walk by, you be, hey, I have a Lamborghini. Hey, I have a Lamborghini. And then the girl's like, ew, is this your car? I don't know. I'm kind of a dork, but I have like a thing for rich guys. I stole that joke from Family Guy. Oh, and then after you flaunt your Lamborghini, and then the girl actually is like, hey, this is kind of cool. He has a Lamborghini. I'm interested. Then the guy, you're supposed to say like, I don't do gold diggers. Oh, is that? So I'm going to give a little bit more of a pragmatic answer, a little bit more of a real life answer as to how my ability to attract women has changed since I've started making some money. Now, given the topic of this video, you probably want to know how much money I make. So I run two businesses. I don't consider the YouTube thing a business yet because I made a whopping $7.15 last month on YouTube. So brush that off the shoulders. I have a writing business. I am a self-development and business author, among a couple other subjects, but that's primarily what I write about. And I earn six figures doing that. And then I also have a publishing business where I publish other writers' content, and I have a lot of expenses, but after expenses, I still earn six figures doing that. So that's kind of what I do in my level. I'm not a millionaire. I'm not bringing in seven figures, but I do make multiple six figures. Having said that, I'm pretty frugal, and I live the lifestyle of probably someone who makes about 50K. So keep that into consideration. I still drive my old Prius that's 4 years old, and I still wear the same clothes that I used to wear. I'm not a fancy designer jeans type guy. My walk around shoes cost $12 from Walmart. My most common date is still Denny's off the 2468 menu. So I'm some would say cheap. I like to use the word frugal because it sounds better than cheap, but I'm still a pretty cheap guy, but I'm working on it. And that's just because I've never had any money my whole life. So I'm just used to being cheap, and it's still new to me to have some money. I'm still adjusting to it. My income, fortunately, is increasing quicker than my ability to adjust to it, if that makes any sense. Anyway, nonetheless, I have noticed some differences, and I thought you might be interested because before I would always be interested. Oh, if only I had a little bit more money. If only I made like $100,000 a year, I'd be able to get all those women would love me. Not quite. So I'm going to break this down into two sections. One, the first being the initial attraction stage, getting to the first date, like meeting to the first date. And then the second part is after that first date, or once you're on the first date. And I will call that like a retention stage, your ability to retain the women you have already attracted. In the first part, which is the initial attraction, I have not noticed a significant difference. I would say marginal, but I think that's mostly related to my own increased self-confidence. When I was broke, I wasn't very confident with myself. I didn't feel like I was worth a lot, literally, figuratively. So I didn't feel like I deserved the higher quality women. Now, that has nothing to do with the women themselves. They were never mean to me or rude or said anything about how I was this little broke boy. It was just my own insecurities. Now that I'm doing a little bit better, I have more confidence. There are a couple small things that might help. I wear the same clothes, drive the same car, but I do get my hair cut more often. So typically my hair is a little bit more clean shape. Not my facial hair, but my hair on the head is a little bit more, clean than it used to be. And my shoes might be a little bit newer. They're still cheap shoes. Like I don't know if I said this already. I mean, I still wear like $12 shoes from Walmart, but at least they're newer. Whereas before it was like a 2-year-old $12 shoes from Walmart. Now they're 2-month-old $12 shoes from Walmart. So yes, because the women don't really know, there's no indication that I'm making, 10 times more money than I used to make. There's nothing to tell the women that. So no, there's not a significant difference in my ability to attract women. Now, the second part is once I have attracted whatever woman I am able to attract, is my ability to retain them superior to what it used to be? And the answer to that is a resounding yes. And I find this mostly to be with the women who at one point or another make it back to my house. If the woman does not, and I think that's because my house is really, I mean, apartment, I live in an apartment, but where I live, my home is really the only thing that's changed since I started making, I mean, other than my bank account, but it's the only thing that's really changed on a significant level since I started making more money. Like I said, I dress pretty much the same. My car's the same. I'm still hella cheap. I still, like I said, I still go to like Denny's and the dollar store and Walmart and Del Taco. I'm still super hella cheap. So the only external indication that I'm not super broke anymore is the place I live in. Now, I don't want anyone to get the impression that I live in a super nice place, a mansion or penthouse or anything, because I don't. I'll try and put up some pictures so you can see the old place I lived in and then my current place. So just so you have an understanding as to what I'm working with. What you will probably notice is my first place, it was always dirty. And it's not because I'm not any more of a clean person now than I used to be. It's just I didn't have any space. I was in this little 300-ish square foot studio. I didn't have any space. So it was always dirty. Your one room is your living room and your bedroom and your office. For me, I have to have an office, so it's also an office. It's your dining room. That is everything. And you have a lot of stuff crammed into a very small space. And it's highly difficult to keep that clean. Now, I have a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. It's 1,020 square feet. So again, not a super nice place, but relative to my old place, it's a lot better. Look at it from the woman's perspective. What do the two pictures, the old place and the new place, what story does it tell about the person who lives there? Because I'm the same person. I haven't really changed. But the first picture says, this is a guy who is extremely dirty. He's messy. He doesn't have his life together. He obviously doesn't make much money at all. He's just not doing real well for himself. And then the second place says, it's a more respectable place. It's okay. It's clean. It's neat. It's well organized. I feel like I have a little bit more space, and this guy at least has his stuff together. I don't know exactly how well he's doing. I don't know exactly how much money he makes, but he's at least doing, he's not a complete loser, right? He has his stuff together to some degree in order to be able to afford to live in a decent place, in a decent complex, in a decent area of the neighborhood, as opposed to before, which was a bad unit in a bad complex in a bad part of the neighborhood. So yeah, that I have noticed that once the women get back to my house, they do tend to be a lot more likely to continue to be interested in dating me, at least if they are in their mid-20s or older. Now, I don't notice much of a difference between women who are 18, 19, 20, and I think that's because back where I used to live, those were the women who came back. It was the really young women. And I think that's because they haven't acclimated to men who are doing better for themselves in life yet. They're still used to dating high school guys who live with mommy and daddy, and maybe they themselves still live with mommy and daddy. They don't have money. They're working a minimum wage job or going to school and don't have any income. They're not used to dating guys who should be doing a little bit better. But it was the women who were in their mid-20s or older. Those women, I'm just honest, back when I was in my old place, they didn't come back. I could get them on a first date, but they didn't come back. Once they saw how my place looked, most of them, I didn't hear from them again. And I think that's because they have already grown. They're old enough to where they have grown accustomed to dating guys who are doing a little bit better for themselves. Whereas here, I don't find that age discrepancy. It's not like more women who are younger stay more. They a much higher percentage just of the overall women are willing to continue seeing me once they've seen the place. So my retention has increased quite a bit. So that is the most honest, pragmatic answer that I can give. It has not making my income increase. It hasn't really changed my ability to attract women. Maybe if I got a nicer car or I dressed fancier, I don't know. Maybe then it would make a difference, but that's just not really my style. I like dressing the way that I dress. So that much hasn't changed, but that for me personally wasn't quite as much my issue as much as it was retention. And that has certainly helped since I've made more money. So I hope this has been helpful, guys. And if you are out there and maybe you're in the situation that I used to be, you might want to subscribe to this channel. We talk about business and self-development and finance and all that fun stuff. And I just want to make a quick note and say I am 28 years old now. And when I was 27, I was living in that junky place and I was broke and things were not going well for me. And I didn't have any indication that things were going to get better. And in a very short period of time, I was able to change things around. So stay positive, never give up hope, because once you've given up hope, you're certainly never going to change your situation. Hope you guys have a great day.